Sometimes it's just the correct thing to give credit where credit is due. Hello guys, welcome, or if you've already seen my channel before, welcome back. I am the Philadelphia Whovian, and for this video guys, we're talking about that incredible woman, that wonderful writer over in Britain, Barbara Clegg. Okay, so those guys who have seen my channel before, you know how I do things. But when it comes to Doctor Who and anything else I talk about on this channel, for those of you guys who are new, warning you all now, I am one of those YouTubers who sits in front of the camera and talks and has no technological skill whatsoever, and therefore just buckle up and you're going to sit here and watch a person just sit and talk. I warned you, but come on, you know you have the courage to just keep on going through with it. You can do it. Trust me, you can do it. Okay, so we're going to go back to talking about Barbara Clegg. Okay, Barbara Clegg, for those of you guys who don't know about Barbara Clegg. Alright, Barbara Clegg is a writer over in Great Britain, and she is in her 90s now. This woman has an impressive career. Originally, she was an actress, but she moved on to write for audio, and she actually acted in quite a few things. So she did both in her career, acted and wrote. Which, when you think of both those careers, they're kind of interconnected. So, she was an actress, acted on quite a few things, but eventually she moved on to write for audio, and then she went on to write for television, and including scripts for Coronation Street and Crossroads. And I know quite a few of you know about those two shows, Coronation Street and Crossroads, but Barbara Clegg wrote for both of them. Also, eventually, she went on to write for Doctor Who in the 5th Doctor's era, his 2nd season, in the Black Guardian trilogy. One of my favorite things of all time is the Black Guardian trilogy. Oh, I'm just so happy that I got this. And what was the story that she wrote? She wrote the very last part of that trilogy called Enlightenment. Some hail this as the greatest story of the trilogy. Any story in the trilogy can be hailed as the greatest. It all depends upon you. Either way. Enlightenment was a phenomenal story with the 5th Doctor in it, with Tegan and Turlough as companions. Unfortunately, we said goodbye to Nyssa in the previous episode of Terminus. Nyssa, you were missed. But in this story, Enlightenment, the last part of being the Black Guardian trilogy, where you're the character Turlough, he's still trying to fulfill the wishes of the Black Guardian to kill the Doctor, but he just can't bring himself to do it. And what is the backdrop behind this? Well, the Doctor and companions are on a ship that is headed up by an alien species called the Eternals. And they're on a race to catch and win enlightenment. It all comes together in a beautiful close. And the dialogue that was written, the plot, the concept is phenomenal. And if memory serves me correctly, the reason why Barbara Clegg actually wrote for Doctor Who is because her children were fans of the show. Yes, her children were Doctor Who fans, so she said, I'll write for Doctor Who. And she would go on to write one of the most criminally underrated stories of the entire classic show and of Doctor Who in general. This story does not get nearly enough love for how genius it is. And also, one little thing, she also created the basic concept behind the Lost Story audios of, I believe, Point of Entry and The Elite. This woman is an absolutely delightfully talented woman. And if memory serves me correctly, the To Entertain documentary, yeah, there's a documentary by To Entertain, you know, you've seen that company before, and the documentary was called Single Right Female, states Barbara Clegg's status as the first female writer on Doctor Who. Barbara Clegg was the first female writer of the show. And I did not even notice that until someone mentioned it, and I looked up and said, oh my god, yes, Barbara was the first female writer of the actual show in the 80s during Peter Davison's era. Barbara Clegg, first female writer in the 80s during Peter's time as the Doctor. Peter Davison's time as the Doctor. I forget, we have 2 Peters now. Gosh, sorry about that, guys. Alright, but that is a monumental thing, not only because of the groundbreaking thing it was for women, and if you're thinking to yourself, how did I not notice there was no female writers before? Well, one, I'm just not used to looking at gender when it comes to writers very often, and automatically oh, it's a male, so wait, where are the women? I just see, okay, male writer, I look at his writing before I look, oh, he's a man. I see his writing and his skill first, and I appreciate him for that. So, also, you gotta understand is, why I love Doctor Who, but I also love the original Star Star Trek, and that took place in the 60s, and all throughout the original Star Trek, there was a female sci-fi writer known as D.C. Fontana. So I think because I knew of there being female sci-fi writers in Star Trek in the 60s, I always kind of assumed there was a female writer in Doctor Who, and I just never noticed. But then it turns out, no, it was up until the 80s. That's when it first happened. Barbara Clegg was monumental for that. But she wasn't just monumental for that. No, it's not enough to be a woman writing. Barbara was brilliant as a writer. She was a genius of a writer. Barbara Clegg's story, Enlightenment, to this very day, I feel, is the greatest story, Doctor Who story, written by a woman. There have been other female Doctor Who writers since then, including My Desire to Be One. None of us are on Barbara Clegg's level. This woman, even though she wrote one story, she wrote a phenomenal story. And Barbara, to this day, those women who work on Doctor Who, including this woman here who wants to be a Doctor Who novelist, until hope one day BBC admits when it starts to kind of take my ideas. Sorry, I'll do a video on that later. But yes, as a woman who wants to write for Doctor Who novels and has seen other women write for Doctor Who, we try to be like you, Barbara. We try. Well, you were in a league of your own, but here's why you were. Barbara, when I see your writing, I don't see a female writer. I just see a writer. And that is the greatest compliment you can give to us women, or even as people of color. You don't see our gender or see the color of our skin. You see our skill and our talent. And Barbara, your talent oozed in every single episode of that 4-parter. You saw a woman who just knew her craft. And also, your writing always reminds me of something that Amelia Earhart once said. She said, and this is probably a quote that often gets misunderstood or mistranslated. What did Amelia Earhart say once? She said, "We women have to strive for things as men do, and our failures are other people's challenges." And I bet you it gets misquoted all the time, because in this quote, do you really see Amelia Earhart degrading men or trying to say men we should push aside and just do what men do? No, Amelia is saying men do their thing, but if you want to be awesome as a woman, you have to strive for things. No one's going to give anything to you because you're a woman. Oh, no. You want to go out and get something, it's through your talent, your effort, and your drive, and your dedication, and the work you put into it. That's how you're going to get anywhere in life, because of your effort, of your talent. Your gender is not your gender does not endow you. Your gender does not empower you to or make you deserve everything. No, you are awesome being a woman, but if you want to get ahead in life, or you want to get something in life, or you have an aim or an ambition, you do not deserve it just because you're a woman. You deserve it by hard work, application, and being damn good. Barbara, in that script, I saw hard work, application, and being damn good. You are such an even though it's just one script, it's a damn good script. And you, quite frankly, are one of the most underrated writers to ever write on Doctor Who. And you've inspired me tremendously. You are a wonderful, wonderful, talented writer, and I'll always be chasing after you, trying to be something like you. Failing miserably, but still trying. So guys, have you seen Enlightenment by Barbara Clegg? Have you not? Let me know in the comment section. And if you have seen it, what did you think about it? Either way, yes, going to shed some light on an oftentimes overlooked character. Thank you so much, Barbara. Live well and prosper. Yes, I said a Star Trek reference. What do you want? I'm me. Bye, guys.